Hello.
Hey, is this Ray?
Yes, who's this?
Jason Saulnier. So what's going on? You're touring right now?
Yep, we're co-headlining Music as a Weapon tour with Disturbed. And in this moment, and Seven Dust are opening. And then we even have Stillwell, which is Fieldy's other project. They're actually starting the whole bill in the beginning of the day.
So how's the tour going up to now?
It's great. It's been awesome. It's, I think it's a lot of great bands for your dollar, for sure. There's a lot of, different types of metal out there, and I think, how many shows there are out these days, the more cool bands you have on one bill, the better. So, so far.
And April 5th, you're going to Nova Scotia, Canada, and that's going to be interesting to see Korn finally in Halifax.
Oh, yeah. Is that the first time, or is that...
Well, it's the first time I'm ever aware of it, and I think it's going to be huge.
That's cool. Looking forward to it.
This tour now, for the drum set, you still got the same drum set as, the Video Oildale and all that?
Yeah, it alters here and there, and it changes from time to time, but we, pretty much it's a same stage setup. But we had quite a big stage on Mayhem with pyro and all that kind of stuff. But we're kind of going back to just an even backdrop with all our gear. But yeah, I got the same monster kits. I have a couple setups for it. Like we have a European rig, which is another ditto of it, and then we have the States one here, and then sometimes when we fly like Australia and stuff like that, we have different setups, or if we do like a one-off somewhere. A couple years ago we did South Africa, stuff like that. You have to have like your own gear, or like rental gear sometimes. So depending on the situation, but it's all good.
It makes you like a pioneer playing a drum set like that. What do you think of the design?
What I think of what?
What do you think of the design, and all that?
It's great. It's like, I'm one of those guys where I'm pretty, I always like to play simpler kind of drums, but I'm into like creativity, and if something's really unique and different, I go for it. So when there's, a lot of people have racks and cages and things for their drum kits, but my old drum tech that designed this, I've been on quite a few tours. I've been touring since 1994, so it's been a long time, and I've always had different kind of kits, but my setup generally stays the same. Well, I was never into racks and cages, but when my old tech approached me and says, "Hey, let me build you something for that," I'm like, "Yeah, it's really gonna have to be different for me to use it." And he come up with that configuration now, and I was just like blown away. I'm like, okay, no one has that on the planet, so I like that. Because drums are drums, but it's up to you to use your mind, use your creativity to get a little bit more characteristic with it. And I think we come up with quite a doozy now,
For the next album, what are you going to come up with? Something.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because top that. That's like the Tommy Lee thing when he went 90 degrees and then he went upside down. It's like, what are you going to do next? I know, roller coaster through the arena. Yeah, it all comes down to the music. You know what I mean? It's like I was joking with Jonathan the other day. It's like, man, I can go out there with 3 drums and would love to play the set and hear what I come up with. Because sometimes when you use less gear, you have to be a little bit more creative. When you have more things, you have 22 cymbals on this kit, so it's easy to get carried away sometimes. But I love just scaled down approach too. So it's fun either way.
Now, Ray, if you got 22 cymbals, do you use every cymbal in the night?
Yeah, I have to, because if I don't, my tech takes it down. He says, okay, I'll go to hit something else. So you didn't hit that in 3 shows, I took it down. So I have to make sure I hit everything at least once.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So for, with the endorsements and all that, how long does a cymbal last for you?
I hit really, really hard, and I don't break that much stuff. I mean, I definitely go through gear, don't get me wrong, but you think for as brutal as abuse it takes, it would be a lot more things broken. But it's just years of hitting things, trying to hit them the right way, and not abusing them. But I've been with Sabian for since my first tour in '94, so they're definitely the best lasting cymbals. You know, when you play in a band that's this heavy and powerful, you have to get gear that lasts. And I just signed to Pearl last year, which is, they've always been one of the most amazing drum companies. And I have a new signature stick, ProMark Ray Luzier 757 model, and it just hit stores and this past fall, and they really last a lot too. You know, I just do dumb things like throw them in the air and throw them in my drum tech. So.
And this tour, you were doing any drum seminars or things like that?
A couple signings here and there. In Canada, I'm doing a couple in-stores at some drum shops, but it's hard because of the travel arrangements. I'd like to book more clinics and more seminars because that's one of my things that I do on my downtime. But you know, like, you never know how long the drive's going to be in between states and cities, and you don't want to run into stressful situations and get in a bind. So every once in a while, like if I know we're going to be somewhere for that day or two, I'll book something. And but pretty much on the downtime is when I book more of my things.
And for David Lee Roth, anything in the future lined up with him?
No, he's back in Van Halen full time, and it's, you know, it was a pleasure working with him for 8 years. It was a great venture. I mean, I definitely it was like going to school. That guy knows probably more than any band or that I've ever been in. I mean, he's one of the king of entertainment. That's why he's lasted for 35 years. You know, it's like you get to a point where you know, to be legendary like that, to have people still come to see you in all parts of the world, you got to be doing something right. He's a lunatic. I mean, he's full-blown bipolar maniac, but I love him. You know, he's but you know, no, he's definitely the Van Halen record's almost in the can, and they're waiting on Eddie right now, and we'll see what happens with that. But we talk from time to time, but you know, he's real proud of the Korn gig and that I got, and he's real happy. So
the recording of the drum tracks on this new Korn album, was there something special done on this to get the tone you got on the drums?
Yeah, there was. We went old school. We went back to Ross Robinson, the original producer for Korn 1 and Life's Peachy, and he at the time we had like a really, really big drum room, and he threw us all in the guitar booth, and we actually did. We was in a 12 by 13 room, and we didn't use Pro Tools. We went to 2-inch tape, which is very interesting. You know, to me, there's a little too many perfect sounding records out there. You know, you can make anyone sound great these days. Throw them in a computer and correct their vocals, lock the drums up so they sound good. And it really bums me out because I miss the old school way of recording. You know, the way they used to do it in the 70s. Just, you know, guys getting in a room, playing, recording. If you get a good take, great, move on. And that's how we did Korn 3. We would write a song. A half hour, 45 minutes later, be tracking it for the record, and there was no drum punches, fixes, nothing. We just minimal overdubs with the guitar, and just was about capturing the emotion and passion of everything, as opposed to you know, drilling it in the ground, trying to get perfect takes. It was all about, hey, what are we feeling at this time? What emotions are we portraying? Is there violence? Is there anger? What do we have going on? And that's what we were trying to capture.
Mm-hmm.
So. Hopefully when the listener listens to it, that's what you feel, you know.
Well, Ray, pleasure talking to you, and I look forward to seeing you in Halifax, Nova Scotia, April 5th.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And tell your people to check out Korn.com, and if they're interested in any more of my bio, RayLuzier.com.
Okay, well, you have a good tour, okay?
Thanks, brother. I'll see you soon.
All right, see you soon.